In a seismic political development that sent shockwaves throughout South Africa and left observers worldwide in a state of shock, African National Congress chairperson Mantashe has been detained overseas on charges of what sources identify as serious and carefully documented international corruption allegations. Mantashe, who had long been counted among the ANC's strongest insiders and President Cyril Ramaphosa's closest advisor, was said to have been arrested by international law enforcement officials during what was supposed to have been a private diplomatic trip to a secret European nation. The manner and timing of the arrest left political circles shocked and induced broad speculation regarding the wider implications for the ANC and the presidency in general. The arrest is part of a far-reaching multinational anti-corruption campaign that has been on the drawing board for months, if not years. According to various foreign media reports and senior diplomatic sources, it is said to involve collaboration among European and African law enforcement authorities, international financial regulators, and worldwide anti-corruption monitors. The allegations against Mantashe are serious, focused on a complex web of corrupt financial transactions, use of offshore bank accounts to launder government money, and abuse of political power to obtain profitable state contracts for personal enrichment. Sources familiar with the probe claim Mantashe was at the center of perpetrating these scams for several years, directing tens of millions of dollars into secret trusts and shell entities. The arrest, which came as a surprise, was made at a high-end hotel mere moments before Mantashe was set to attend an invitation-only energy conference alongside European and African officials. Acting on a sealed international arrest warrant, police acted quickly to arrest him, catching not just Mantashe, but also the South African government entirely off guard. The warrant, sources said, had been authorized months before after a painstaking investigation involving whistleblower testimony from inside South Africa, lengthy forensic audits of financial records, and leaks from offshore banking jurisdictions infamous for hiding high-level corruption. Inside sources who are well aware of the case paint a damning paper trail. Mantashe is charged with orchestrating an extensive network of secret financial instruments, trusts, shell corporations, and offshore banks employed to hide illicitly acquired funds. These funds are assumed to have come from overpriced government tenders, rigged infrastructure contracts, and unauthorized disbursements from the public sector. The reported transactions covered several countries and both public money and private bribes, raising alarms among international regulatory authorities and ultimately prompting Interpol to become involved. This arrest has been a long time coming, said a senior official with the European Anti-Corruption Task Force. The evidence we've collected doesn't just implicate Mantashe. It paints a much larger picture, one that involves several high-level individuals in Southern Africa operating in a coordinated effort to exploit public resources for personal gain. Back home, the political fallout was both immediate and profound. Panic is said to have gripped the top leadership of the ANC when news of Mantashe's arrest emerged. Sources within Latchley House, the national headquarters of the ANC in Johannesburg, said senior leadership was left in disarray with some switching off their phones, staying away from public appearances, or even going out of the country temporarily. Employees were reportedly spotted shredding files, erasing sensitive computer files, and rushing to determine what else could be revealed next in the continuing multinational probe. The Fear Insiders report is not so much about Mantashe's possible testimony, it's about what else foreign investigators might already have. There have been years of warnings, added one ANC source who agreed to speak only on condition of anonymity. We were instructed from the inside to shape up or ship out and face the international consequences. Now that the hammer has fallen, everyone's looking over their shoulder. No one knows who's next. The arrest put increased pressure on President Cyril Ramaphosa, whose silence so far has done little to quell rumor. As opposition parties and civil society groups demand leadership, accountability, and transparency, analysts are warning that Ramaphosa's window for managing the narrative is slipping away quickly. That Mantashe is said to have worked so freely and for so long on Ramaphosa's watch could do serious harm to Ramaphosa's reputation as a reformer who is serious about eradicating corruption in the ANC. Political opposition groups have not hesitated to react to the scandal. The Democratic Alliance, DA, has demanded an urgent parliamentary probe into the events leading up to the arrest of Mantashe along with the public release of the international warrant and all foreign investigators' evidence. This is not about Gwede Mantashe, declared DA leader John Steenhuisen. This is a matter of a culture of impunity that has permeated the ANC top to bottom. South Africans have a right to know who else is implicated, what was concealed from the public, and what the president is going to do about it. The Economic Freedom Fighters, EFF, led by Julius Malema, issued a blistering statement accusing the ANC of running the country like a criminal enterprise. This is proof of what we've said all along, said Malema. The ANC has turned the state into a looting machine. If Ramaphosa doesn't act now, he will be remembered as the president who watched democracy rot under his nose. The public has responded quickly and emotionally. Demonstrations broke out outside Parliament and major government buildings in Johannesburg, Pretoria, and Cape Town. Student unions, anti-corruption NGOs, and civil society groups are calling for a mass audit of ANC leadership, asset forfeiture, and international travel restrictions on involved officials. Social media went ballistic with indignation as #Mantashe arrested, #ANC exposed, and #corruption now started trending in a matter of hours. "We are done watching them steal our futures," tweeted one user. "This arrest is proof that the world sees the rot. Now it's time for us to clean house." Legal analysts believe the arrest is just the beginning of a larger domino effect. International legal authorities are reportedly preparing further action against other figures implicated in the same financial network. Numerous additional sealed warrants likely exist, and cooperation between South African and foreign prosecutors will heat up in the next few weeks. "This is not a one-off scandal," said one legal expert. "It's part of a global enforcement approach against transnational corruption. And it looks like South Africa is a special focus." In the meantime, pressure builds on President Ramaphosa to break his silence and act boldly. Political analysts say his legacy now depends on whether he can meet the moment or fall victim to what will perhaps be the widest-reaching corruption scandal in post-apartheid times. Already whispers within ANC ranks indicate that a leadership crisis could be in the offing, with some members doubting Ramaphosa's capacity to sustain moral and political leadership in the face of increasing internal and external pressure.